Welcome to The Week is Overrated. It's your host, Don Dollar. It is snowing. We're on the road today. Had to take care of a few things early this morning, but that's all right. A little bit of snow don't stop the show. And again, want to thank everybody who's been checking out the content. Please make sure you guys like and subscribe. We are looking to grow the channel. Appreciate that in advance. So, on today's What Did We Learn? It might sound a little harsh, a little direct, but in my estimation, sometimes you just got to lose your effing mind. And when I say lose your mind, it's not in the sense of, crashing out and not having, control of your emotions or anything along those lines. It's more so geared with not holding yourself back, because a lot of times the doubt that can creep into your mind, it can stop you from, taking certain chances or maximizing certain opportunities just because you'll continuously second guess yourself. Back in, what was it, I guess you could say 2010, when I first went off to college, I went up to New York and Long Island and attended Nassau Community College and, played JUCO football. And, that experience, I would say it benefited me greatly in the long run. I didn't really see it at the time, but it was a lot of adversity that I had to endure during that time period. And if you asked me at the time, I might have had a different outlook on it, but the ways that I was tested, in all areas of life during that time, hindsight, I can see how beneficial that was for me. So when I left Nassau, because I think I was there for 2 years. When I left Nassau, I didn't have anything, set up as far as, school or football wise. The goal was to go and get a scholarship to play football. But when I left, it wasn't under the best terms, but it was a decision that I felt like I had to make, because I didn't feel as though whatever my path was, I didn't feel as though I was going to be able to fulfill it at Nassau at that particular time. So, coming back home to Delaware, I had, was working at Macy's in Concord Mall. I was going to Dell Tech, working out. Again, not really having any set plan or anything really in motion. And that really, from a mental standpoint, that can be challenging, because you got, every time somebody sees you, the first thing they ask you is, what's going on with football? How's football? What's going on with school? So on and so forth. And not really having like the answers, it can be a little embarrassing. But for me, I just kind of stayed locked in, stayed in tunnel vision. I walked from East Side all the way to Del Tech, back and forth each day, over to the side to work out. Caught the 11 bus up, or is it the 1? I think it was the 11. I caught the 11 bus. Well, I don't know which bus it is, because it's been a while since I've been on a bus, but caught the bus up to the mall for work, caught the bus home from work. And, staying dialed into being ready for whenever something comes. And again, not letting, the doubt creep in and really losing my mind. Because if I had kept my mind, I probably wouldn't have been able to do the things that I went on to be able to do. Which again led me to an opportunity to come to New Jersey. And even though that situation, had its challenges and its up and downs, I was still able to navigate that. But I would say on a bigger scale, when I came to New Jersey, I was in a situation where I had a football landlord situation where it was like a scam. It was everything you can think of. It was like one of them Bishop Arch, where like the team got fake rankings, and you would have to understand, it was called Gattaca, but you would have had to been there to understand like all of the nuances. But needless to say, I was able to navigate that situation but it came with its challenges. I was sleeping in my car for a stretch of time. I was, parking in different places, movie theaters, grocery stores, and I was parking in the school I was attending, Mercer County Community College. I was parking in their parking lot. I would wake up 4 or 5 in the morning, go into the school's gym area, shower, iron my clothes, brush my teeth, get dressed, take all my stuff back to the car, go get breakfast, be in class, and then that was my daily routine for at least a 4-month stretch. So at this time, again, I'm still, I don't necessarily have what the ultimate goal is in playing, which is to get a scholarship to go to school, because at the time, the way the football situation was set up, we had basically a season's worth of games within like a month, and then once that month was up, the coach just kind of disappeared. But the only problem was the coach was the link to the landlord, who, I don't know what their agreement was, but basically the landlord didn't get his money and we got kicked out. So I had a choice. It was, stay here in New Jersey, go to school and figure it out, or go back home. And I think at that time I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to stick with it. I got a car, I had a job, I was in school, and I was like, I got most of it. I don't got a roof over my head or like a house roof. I got a car roof, but I pretty much, figured it out along the way. And I think for me, that model of losing my fucking mind, like, that's an example of it, because I know a lot of guys who, was in that JUCO trying to figure it out beyond that point, and a lot of people just folded up and went home. But me, I stayed the course. I didn't let I didn't let doubt creep into my mind, even when, like I said, I didn't have any inclination on what the future held. I didn't know if I was closer or further from the goals that I had set for myself. And lo and behold, to add on, I wasn't even able to get film from the coach for the season that we had, but lo and behold, one of the coaches, a guy from back home, he was able to put together like a 40-second iPhone highlight tape. This is like, there's no, like, you basically just got to follow the ball, because I'm, making plays, but it looked like VHS, but it was made on the iPhone, and that's what landed me, my scholarship to Gannett University. So again, had I not lost my mind, had I just packed it up and went home, or had I not stayed in school, or not, stayed in shape, then that opportunity would have came and I wouldn't have been ready. So that's the beauty in losing your mind, because you don't let any type of secondary doubt creep in, because doubt is an enemy of success, is an enemy of progress. So yeah, that was what did we learn of the day. You got to lose your fucking mind. You have to lose your fucking mind. You got to. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a long, drawn out series is what I'm describing, as far as football and college and all of those things. It could be with anything. If you got a business idea, or if you just want to improve yourself, self-improvement, little things. But whatever it is, again, if you want to go to that, that level of you being able to achieve what your goals are, you got to lose your mind. You got to lose your mind, and you got to tune out anything that's not, progressive towards getting you closer to where you want to go. So that's all we got for today. Y'all stay safe. Put your hats on, earmuffs. Get the salt, get that shovel. It's crazy out. Peace.